So we are back in Eliu, again, the names. Eliu is still talking. Um, and Job 35. So today is Job 35 through 37, and it is all Eliu speaking. In Job 35, Eliu points out that what people do or what people don't do does not impact God or diminish his greatness. God is God. He's going to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it, period. That's it. That's all. He points out that people call out to God during suffering all the time. And he's not ignoring them. He's just not obligated to respond. He's saying God can do basically whatever he wants to do because he is God. And it's up to people to trust him. That was interesting because he points out that even though you don't hear from God, he's not ignoring you. It's just not the right time to answer you in your situation yet. He's going to get to you eventually. He's God, and he knows his timing is perfect. So you just got to wait it out. And in this situation, we know that, the devil was traveling the earth, going to and fro, and God said, have you considered my servant Job? And it's not at this point in time the time for Job to be released from the devil. So he still got to go through it. And then 36, here I was a little taken aback because in a way Eliu is saying that God disciplines the righteous for their good, and suffering can be refinement, not just punishment. And I didn't know how I felt about that because the idea is you do good, you're supposed to be rewarded, right? But here he's saying you could do good and still get slops. And then you have to be grateful for it and still understand that God is God. So I was just like, I don't know how I felt about that or how I feel about that idea. Some of the things that he says in scripture, 36:12, he says, but if they do not listen, they will perish by the sword and die without knowledge. And he also says in 36:26, how great is God beyond our understanding. The number of his years is past finding out. Now that I highlighted because a lot of people said how they don't understand how Christians have or worship a God with a birthday. Because, Jesus' birthday is allegedly in December, but I think it's more, the truth of the matter is more along the lines of spring. But, money makes it December 25th, essentially. But anyway, they always say that, like, how y'all got a birthday? And so I love that this God and here, just God, Jesus got a birthday, but God has the number of his years is past finding out, so we'll never know how old our God is. So I really like that part of it. And then in Job 37, he talks about Eliu, he talks about the seasons, the weather, and how it's all under God's control. And that was interesting to me a little bit because I was like, oh, that's true. Rain, thunder, sun, no sun, it's all up to God. And then he pointed out in one part that he can make it rain to grow the crops, but he can also make it rain and destroy the earth. And we seen that back in Genesis when I was going over Genesis. He told Noah to build an ark and put his family and those animals on that ark. And then this part he says, would anyone ask to be swallowed up? So I thought, of course, my mind went to T.D. Jakes. You want to be swallowed. my mind went there, but it also went to Jonah, right? Is he the one who got swallowed by the whale? So I thought briefly, like, maybe that was foreshadowing his fate a little bit. But we have 2 more days of Job. And I know he get restored eventually because, that's what everybody say. He went through all this suffering and then he get restored. We only have 2 more days of Job, 38 through 42. So Job 38 through 42 is left. So he has to get restored at some point. I just don't know when. And again, I don't know how long this suffering is, but it's longer than a week, probably months, maybe even a few years, according to some biblical scholars. So until next time, see you next time. Oh, Elihu talks a lot, and some of his stuff that he says I like, and other things he says I'm just like, are you sure? So I hope he's not talking for the next 2 days that we're reading this, but we'll see. See you guys.